Hard Knocks episode 2 review. Let's talk about it. Episode 1 was great, but I think episode 2 might have been greater, George.
Yeah, it was really good. I just wish Pat McAfee didn't go on and say, I heard it's the best episode of Hard Knocks ever. Like, I was expecting something super crazy. It was a good episode, don't get me wrong, but I mean, nothing. I thought we're going to get some really crazy thing to happen, but good episode, definitely entertaining.
A lot of good topics. Yeah, but I don't know. Best episode ever. I can't compare. I mean, I've watched a lot of Hard Knocks. I think I kind of took a break for a few years. Just don't want to pay for HBO and watch like the Titans Hard Knocks or whatever team. But based on the past, I don't know if it's best ever. I do remember Antonio Brown, like saying he got cut and jumping in a pool to celebrate. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that might have been the best one ever.
And remember, he was doing like the hydrotherapy and freaking out about his helmet.
Yeah, and his foot froze.
Yeah, like
he got frostbite.
As a Seahawks fan, it's the best episode I've watched, but
Yeah.
It's, it was good though. And we'll get into all the topics. Like we both have some notes. Today's episode is brought to you by Poly Market. You can use code Seattle on tap, all 50 states. And should we get going?
Yeah, absolutely. But I just want to let the people know, if you do use Poly Market, click the link. I don't think they necessarily let you put in the promo code. It just applies automatically. You can't really type it in. So press the link in the description. $10 gets you $25 in bonus bets.
Press the link, I guess. Don't use the code. There might be a code, though. I could be wrong. We'll find out for next episode. Let's get this rolling. All right. Well, I'm deciding what we're starting with today.
All right, go for it.
I feel like it's the most recent in my brain. There's a lot of funny things. There's a lot of the drama, like Mike McDonald and Derek Hall. Derek Hall has really found a way to like be in every episode, but
highly entertaining.
I want to start with the cliffhanger at the end with the Terrion Arnold stuff, because it is the most, I guess, actually like football related topic, most team related topic, which is middle of the episode. They talked about it. It seemed like John Schneider was, it seems like he's seriously considering it. He's like, I'm just, thinking about the backlash a little bit and the controversial signing. He went to Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald seemed like the one that was a little more hesitant. Like, okay, well, what do you know about him?
On this, of course I do.
And then at the end, they like showed it, and I was like, oh, are we going to hear a conversation? Because they showed him and Mike McDonald dapping up, and then like it faded away to the end screen as he was walking out of the doors. It felt like this guy is going to be signed by Seattle, but it seems like there's like a lot of hesitation from the coach, obviously from anybody, because of the charges that are pending. That was a cliffhanger. That was interesting though, because from a lot of reports I'm reading, corner is like one of our weakest positions after Woolen walking away. So interesting. But I know you have something on Mike McDonald, because that is interesting. He definitely seemed like he didn't want to say anything.
All right. Maybe I'm not completely a body language doctor, in the words of Bill Simmons, but that dap at the end by Mike McDonald did not seem like the most enthusiastic dap. I mean, Arnold went in there. He went in for the hug. Arnold did a little bit more. Mike McDonald seemed like he was like, didn't want to show much. I don't know if that's for negotiation or because he doesn't think he fits the culture. But I would definitely say, out of the enthusiasm between Schneider and Mike McDonald, Schneider is definitely way more enthusiastic about him coming into the building than Mike McDonald was.
See, the way I see it, the ending actually made me think the opposite. At first, I thought Mike McDonald was like so against this idea. The ending to me seemed like, oh, he's actually open and maybe he doesn't want to say anything. I think these are the weird fine lines when you have somebody that's, what is he dealing with? Potential kidnapping charges. Alleged. I mean, I will say I'm a big believer. I don't think this is controversial, of like innocent until proven guilty. Obviously, it's if he's guilty, it's a really big deal. He's going to never play in the NFL again if he's part of a kidnapping charge. But if he ends up being innocent, it's like, that's why you don't assume everything that's said is real. But I think Mike McDonald's also just a smart guy. He knows the cameras are on too. He knows this is
that's
hard
one
knocks.
big thing.
He's not going to hit John Schneider with a Yeah, fuck the charges. Who cares? Let's just give them a try. Like, oops, I said that on HBO, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
the only slip up we had was the San Antonio Spurs, which we'll get to later. They did slip up on camera, but we'll get to that later when we get to the Mitch Johnson part. They do call it kidnapping, just so you know. They need to get a different word for it, to be honest with you. When you abduct adults, they weren't kids, just so people know that he didn't actually abduct children. He abducted adults.
well,
So
we don't know if
just
he did it. So,
allegedly,
yeah.
he's being allegedly.
I know you were trying to make a joke out of it, but I'm
Yeah.
not trying to joke about it in case he did it. But I'm taking the Mike McDonald route here. I'm like,
I'm taking the route here, just like, I'm clarifying the charges. That's it.
yeah. Well, also, it wasn't really like just a kidnapping, just to kidnap. I think allegedly whatever happened, and I don't know if he's involved or not. I think it was like somebody got scammed, right? And they like,
Someone stole a bunch of his jewelry. He called the cops, or one of his associates called the cops. The cops didn't investigate him, and they kidnapped the people. So, like, I mean, if you're going to
or the
kidnap
guy went missing,
the
whatever.
guy went missing, I wonder who took him.
Or he didn't go missing, and that was his way of trying to get out of getting in trouble for stealing stuff. So, like,
Also
that's
possible. Yeah, there's a
so
lot
who
of
knows?
allegedly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things going on in the NFL right now. I don't know if you've seen the case that John Schneider got scammed by some like business person. So did Jalen Carter, and the guy was found dead yesterday
In his pool.
In his pool, and people are saying don't connect the dots to Jalen Carter, and I'm like, guys, like, really, we're going to connect the dots to Jalen Carter? That's so bad.
Well, John Schneider wasn't the issue was John Schneider wasn't just scammed. They're saying he was part of the scamming potentially because he is like a partner, but I think even the partners were getting scammed.
Yeah,
by
that's
the
usually
guy.
what happens. There's a guy
Yeah.
who's like, hey, do you want to join this business? Be part of it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Schneider obviously got scammed.
I mean, so many people got scammed with like the crypto stuff too, like Tom Brady and
Right.
whatever. So, and I think, this is a good example for maybe somebody like John Schneider who knows that like from the get-go, because he was just involved with something, right? His name's in the news now randomly, but maybe another reason he's like believes in second chances, believes in like, I'm not going to assume that Terrion Arnold's going to be guilty. I'm going to assume right now because he's a free man right now that he's available and somebody we can sign, right? And if he helps the team, he helps the team. And guess what? If you sign him and then he ends up being guilty, he's off the team the next day.
The NFL does a really good job usually with even allegations. We've seen so many players have allegations of something and get suspended by Roger Goodell. The fact that Roger Goodell hasn't gone out and suspended Arnold yet shows some sort of hesitation on the guilt side of things.
Yeah, now, and maybe that they know something.
Yeah,
more.
Now the legal process needs to be the legal process and needs to play out. I mean, I don't know what it is. So, yeah, but definitely an interesting part of the episode.
I think it's interesting one. I think the interesting part really was the interactions, like you're saying, right? We're talking about like the John Schneider, Mike McDonald interaction about it and the ending there. Cause it's like, I thought maybe we were going to get him mic'd up for half a second, but probably legally they're like, we're not putting him on a microphone.
I love when they work them out too. It's just like, hey, do some back pivots, catch a ball as a DB. And like,
I'm sure there was more that we don't get to see on camera. But I feel like with these workouts, it's more about,
are you in shape?
Not just that. It's also like them sitting with him and talking to him. Because like, we know this is why I'm open to the Seahawks signing him. I'd obviously be hesitant, like Mike McDonald seemed like he is, but I'd be happy if we signed him because, I mean, he's might be an upgrade from Tariq Woolen from last year. So it's like,
yeah, he's a very high level cornerback.
Yeah, if you get him and then he ends up being not guilty, all of a sudden our defense is better than last year's potentially on paper because who we lost, losing Boye Mafe, Kobe Bryant, and Tariq Woolen, those three pieces, getting Terrion Arnold, getting, I think we're already stacked at that position where Boye Mafe left. And then Kobe Bryant, I think we're going to figure it out with, we're also stacked at that position. I think you would look at this defense and say on paper, they're just as good. So I'm open to the idea. It seems like the Seahawks are obviously really open to it. And I'm getting the sense if it wouldn't be in the episode so much if it wasn't like a true possibility.
Absolutely. No, yeah, it's a true possibility.
And I think they should.
Yeah. Yeah, I
for
would
now.
not. I would go for it, and then if anything else comes out of the legal process, you can cut bait pretty quickly
Yeah.
there. So it's not. It is what it is. I did hint at the San Antonio Spurs for a second. I really like, Mitch Johnson came in the building. They talked about things, but they did slip up on camera a little bit. The GM of the Spurs when he said we had someone go to France. We saw Victor Wembanyama play this before he was drafted, and the year before he even entered the draft. And he's like, "Oh, that's the best player I've ever seen." Like we did anything we could to put ourselves in a position to get him in the draft. It's like, oh, so you guys openly just talked about tanking on national TV on accident, but that's nice.
Sort of. Although I think you misconstrued a part of that story. He said they first saw him when he was 13, not before he was in the draft. He didn't say a year before the draft. They said at 13 is
At
when the guy
13.
found him. Yeah.
All right,
Which
well,
was like 5 years before.
hey, if I was running an organization and Victor Wembanyama was going to be available, even if it's the Sonics, let's say, I would want them to tank for him.
Yeah, my thing is they also like if you look at the Spurs, what's weird about the times they get these players, they've never it's also like not the most intentional tanking. It's like what didn't David Robinson get hurt the year before Tim Duncan
Mm-hmm.
became available? And then what happened why were they so bad without they got rid of Kawhi for a year or two.
Yeah, they were bad for
They were
like
just
2
bad.
years.
Yeah.
That's one franchise. I mean, Seattle Seahawks, San Antonio Spurs, very similar in the last since the year 2000. Like two
Yeah.
very good organizations.
Yeah. I mean, very similar too in terms of like sustained success. You don't really get like a lot of drama out of these organizations. And I think it was a cool little moment in the episode in general because,
Absolutely.
well, one, for those that don't know, I feel like a lot of people would know, but like Mitch Johnson is from Seattle.
Yeah.
That's why he's not just randomly deciding to go to Seahawks camp. He's probably at home visiting family for the off season.
Should have probably mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. Like they should have said something like, "Oh, you're from here." Like
I think they did. I think they did at the beginning when he was sitting in the back in the auditorium. They mentioned it for a second.
Oh, okay. I was just saying because if they didn't, I'm like, that's kind of like big missing information for those that don't know about like high school basketball in Seattle. It's not like he wasn't like he's not like Isaiah Thomas of Seattle. He was just a guy. But I thought that was interesting. I do like seeing those mixes between coaches. Like it is interesting how they sit down and talk about like the mindset. And they were talking about how Wemby is what did Mitch Johnson say? He's no matter how good he is and he wants to be the greatest of all time, like he's never put himself above the team once. And I love hearing the stuff like that because it just talks, it's kind of like a hearing about different level of athletes and how special they are.
And it's the only way you can really win, right? I mean, there are certain athletes who have put themselves above the team, but long-term success doesn't work like that in any sport. You have to be selfless. You have to be part of a team. And even those stories you hear about Kobe Bryant being selfish or Michael Jordan being selfish or whoever you want to say being selfish, it's probably a little misconceived because they were trying to win a championship as a team.
Yeah. He was trying to do what's best to win.
Yes.
Technically. And I think it's a good transition, to be honest with you, to the JSN stuff. Because we're talking about like, guys that are humble, egoless, whatever you want to call it. And they talked about Wemby and they transitioned to the JSN stuff, which last episode you mentioned JSN was not featured at all. He was featured this episode, but quite minimally, right? Like,
what he did because he doesn't give you much.
Yeah, it doesn't give you much. And this is, but I did think it was really funny how like the wide receiver coach talking about how like you can challenge him and he doesn't fight back, and then they started arguing in the room.
I wrote it. I wrote that down, and my thing is, I think JSN felt the bullshit. I think he was trying to find something to challenge him on, and he knew the cameras was on because he said that.
He was trying to be funny,
and then JSN's like, "What?"
He was like, "That like JSN like why are you arguing back with me?" He's like, "We always argue." He's like, "I just said I just said on camera that you like don't fight back." He's like, "We always fight back." He's like, "It's constructive." Like he was trying to be fun. I think he knows like the cameras were in the room, like you said, and they're trying to be like make a segment. He was just trying to be like,
and like the coach was trying to find anything to criticize him on. Like there's not much to criticize him on. So it was a great moment, though. That's like, it's part of reality TV, right?
Yeah, they know they're on camera, but it goes to show that JSN truly is for a wide receiver, which is crazy. Just like completely egoless and like willing to learn, which is I don't know how to. I feel like I might be overstating it, but it's the truth, which is it's so lucky to have a wide receiver in
Mhm.
the NFL that's a number one, that's like a top 5 receiver, top 3 receiver, maybe the best receiver in football, that has none of this like ego issue where it's like, I need the ball more, or like I need more money again, and or I need this. He is literally just a guy that shows up to work and dominates, and then like kind of
Yeah.
like a Larry Fitzgerald is a good
Yeah, Larry
example.
Fitzgerald was like that. Today actually is, I think, the 21-year anniversary. I saw trending on Twitter from when Terrell Owens was doing sit-ups in his driveway and all that stuff. You remember that clip, shirtless in his
Of
driveway
course.
doing, yeah. So it's like that's the wide receiver. And I saw someone like quote me, is like, I miss when wide receivers were cool. Like, it was a joke. Like, yeah, like wide receivers, everything was about them. They were like a show. And now
Yeah.
it's like JSN, he's pretty quiet. I mean, if you go around the league, most of these really good wide receivers for the most part are pretty good. I mean, Justin Jefferson still hasn't really freaked out, despite I think he's on his 8th quarterback in 10 years. You got Jamar Chase, he loves Joe Burrow. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's I think the closest thing to JSN personality wise. Like, I don't know anything about his personality, like other than he
And
speaks
then
German.
he has a podcast.
Oh, does he? Okay.
What do you mean does he? With his brother? It's like one of the more famous podcasts.
Okay, but he doesn't say anything too bad on it, I guess. Um, yeah, maybe that
That
was a bad
was an
example.
awful example. He
Stefan
is.
Stefan Diggs, like super class act, never gets
Puka
in any
Nacua,
trouble.
super
Puka
class act.
Nacua, who, by the way, there's a report saying that he could still be suspended this season at
Yeah,
some
that was
point.
today.
So that was
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So yeah, Puka, Stefan Diggs, very quiet, humble guys.
Yeah.
Tyreek
Awesome.
Hill.
Henry Ruggs.
Man, that story just sucks, man.
that was too far.
Yeah.
Too far. No, I mean, there are some calmer receivers now, but it's still like there's still it can come out of nowhere. I feel like the best
Yeah.
example for JSN would have been like Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is a great
Never,
example. Maybe like
never.
Mike Evans. Thank you, Sammy.
I think it is interesting because you compare eras, right? Like a Terrell Owens was like asking news cameras to come to his house. Meanwhile, JSN has cameras in his face and is like strategically trying to avoid speaking on them.
Mhm.
So it's like they're literally polar opposites. But that was it's what makes me really like this team. I feel like everything about this team that we're seeing on Hard Knocks is kind of egoless, even when you have obviously a big part of this was the Derek Hall and Mike McDonald yelling at each other again. Derek Hall, both episodes, has
Mhm.
found a way to get in a fight or yell with somebody. It always ends with like a hug and a sorry. Like Mike McDonald literally said, like, I don't know how to shadow box, just hug it out and say I love you.
Mhm.
And they're really all like that, it seems like. And the
Yeah.
defense hypes up like the guys on offense and Sam Darnold, and the offense hypes up the defense. And it's very, I guess, very different than what you think football culture is, right? Where like everyone's pissed at each other. It's very like, I don't want to say Pete Carroll esque, but very like kumbaya, and then
Yeah,
with a little bit of fire.
yeah, it's weird. Like, okay, so you said shadow boxing, and I wrote this down.
Yeah, they've been
When
doing that all, all
Yeah,
the whole episode.
yeah, and the thing is, like, there was a word, crescendo. Mike McDonald says the word crescendo and blah blah. Like when he talks, part of me when he talks, just the talking part sometimes reminds me of Bill Belichick. He like uses these big words. He sounds really smart. He seems like,
Warriors in the jungle, in the garden thing. The
yeah,
Warriors in the garden.
he seems very Bill Belichickian in a way, but then at the same time, he's not. And I think nowadays that's the essence of good coaching, because I don't think the Bill Belichicks of the world work as much as they used to, because people aren't really willing to get yelled at like they're little kids anymore. The Bill Parcells of a world, that now you have to have this like CEO style of becoming a head coach where you can joke with your players, you know how to interact with people, but you're still tough. You still set the rules. You still have a bar. You can still tell someone, yeah, keep bitching, like you said to Derek Hall, but he still has that ability to bring it back and feel more like and he's not that much older than them, but more of like a father figure or uncle figure rather than a tyrant sitting on a chair and yelling at them to do more push-ups.
Well, I think it's that he has both because he does have that like asshole in him, like
Yeah,
Bill
yeah,
Belichick.
it's like that. It was just what I'm saying. The mix, like he has a perfect mix of this
I
and
think
that.
I think the best way to put it is he doesn't do it for no reason. Like a lot of the old school coaches do
Mhm.
it for no reason. Like Bill Belichick would be just a dick 24/7 for no
Yeah,
reason, right?
yeah,
Like just to be a dick and thinking like that's the style. And what I think the downfall of Pete Carroll at the end was too much kumbaya, too much like people were saying there was reports right at one point where it started to become what was like get washed his positivity was kind of getting overlooked or no, what's the word like in one ear out the other at some point
yeah,
like
something
near
like
the
that.
end of his tenureship where it's like people are like okay blah 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 like we're happy we get it like but Mike McDonald I feel like he yells when it's time to yell and then he's buddy buddy when it's time to be buddy buddy he knows how to like finish off a yelling session at a player and then go talk to him like here's why like,
Mhm.
I think it is more of the modern day, like you said. It's more this generation. And Mike
Yeah,
McDonald is like in his 30s. I mean, he's like our age, right?
yeah.
So he's in there saying, "You fucked this up, you did this, and then let me talk to you about why I yelled and like we're doing this for a greater purpose."
Yep.
Old school, like Bill Belichick would have been like, "You fucked up, like come to my office later."
Yeah.
Like let's talk about it later. And then when they talk about it, it's talking about why they fucked up, not like, let's make up and hug. Now
Right.
you have to have that. I feel like that's what works with players is okay, we can give you constructive criticism, but let's also talk it out.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
I'm mad. And I think that's so cool about Mike McDonald because he is it is well, like you said, he has both. And I think it like kind of fits who he is in general. He literally looks like he's like 50 years old, but like 30 years old at the same time. Even
Yeah.
his look. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I was watching with my wife the episode and she was like, he looks 35, but he also looks like 55. Like, cause he just like, I don't know, his personality does that. The way he is does that. It's just
Like, no offense to him, I think like he has no swag of a 30-something-year-old.
no, he
He
just
has
has a like dad look of a
he has like it looks like an accountant.
which he was gonna be an accountant.
Yeah,
His
exactly. And
football
there's
didn't
nothing
work.
wrong with that, but yeah, it just looks like a accountant named Mike.
Yeah. And then like which makes him look like a 45-year-old like dad. And but he's really
Exactly.
like in his mid 30s and he kind of looks young at the same time. And I think his personality does the same thing. Like gets mad, but also has philosophy, also has like a let's hug and make up. I think this whole hard knocks thing in general has I already was like year one, Mike McDonald. I was like, okay, he's a good coach. Personality, I think we were both. We talked about it a lot. Like very blah, a little too
They didn't
stoic.
show any.
Yeah, didn't show any. Then by the end of last year, you started to see it come out more. And then now after Hard Knocks, I think I've like figured him out in terms of like his goal isn't to have personality. His goal is to literally like take every situation as it is. Like when it's time to be
Exactly.
mad, be mad. When it's time to be happy, be happy. And I feel like I like him even more now. Obviously, winning the Super Bowl made me like him a lot.
Yeah, that usually they usually do it for you.
Yeah, but now the personality is coming out in a good way where you see that he's a cool guy. And I think sometimes those quotes, though, I didn't get the warrior in the garden thing.
I didn't get it either, but I'm sure there's something there.
They kept talking about it, though.
I
And
know.
even the players brought it up. What does that mean? Like, supposed to be quiet in the garden, even though you're a warrior?
I mean, I can try to look it up, but I'm sure he didn't make it up. The warrior in the jungle,
It was in the garden,
warrior in the
wasn't it?
garden. Quote. Yeah, let's see. Quote origin.
Warrior in the jungle would be
So yeah. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
sick.
It's a legendary Japanese swordsman thing. Meaning, emphasize retaining strength, discipline, and capability even when you live in a peaceful environment.
Okay. So it's like even in a peaceful environment, find like your warrior,
Yeah.
essentially. Interesting.
I like it actually.
Yeah, I didn't get it at first.
Speaking of that, I wrote this down. We finally got our house. Seeing someone at their house of Leonard Williams in
Yeah,
his garden.
in his garden. Yeah.
So
He is literally the warrior in the
he
garden.
was the warrior in the garden.
It's probably why they showed his garden. They heard that term and they're like, Leonard Williams, a big gardener. Let's go to his house.
Yeah. So good,
Yeah.
good call there.
Yeah, it's a nice garden though. He's really
Great garden
and great plants. Yeah, we finally saw a house. We got JSN. I'm trying to think if
we saw Derek Hall's outside of his house.
Yeah, in his truck for the 5th time.
He has a big truck, if you didn't know.
The one guy that will not speak on the show is Rashid Shaheed. We got like a half a second out of him.
Yeah, with Marshawn. Marshawn's fun as always.
Marshawn brought up a good topic, actually. The white defensive backs. They are popping up out of nowhere now. He was like, and I love he made Ty Okada like do a dance move like you're supposed to have in your hip. The whites don't usually have it in the hips.
And then he kind of had it.
Yeah, he had it ish. Yeah. For a white guy, it was good. But it was an interesting point there, though. A lot of white DBs coming up. I feel like, what was his name? Cooper
DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean started a little trend, and now we got a lot more white DBs coming.
Jason Sehorn.
Thank you for bringing always finds a way to make an episode a little more interesting.
Yeah, just his whole vibe is just good times.
Yeah, I like what's his name? Derek White was like, "Hey, get my Madden rating up." His response was, "Fuck you." Like, just I feel like he just doesn't care. It's just whatever.
It's amazing.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's on Euphoria. He's a lot on HBO. He's a character in Euphoria season 3, which I'm watching right now.
For non-broadcasting, he has found a way to make an amazing post-career.
I guess he's really getting into acting, so you'll be seeing him in a lot of more TV shows and movies.
Be interesting. Won't complain about that.
No, me either. I find him highly entertaining.
Me too. I'm trying to think if there's anything else from the episode. That was all my notes.
Yeah, those are all my notes. That's everything I got out of the episode today.
I guess there's one last thing I can bring up. It has to do with the Mike McDonald yelling and the Derek Hall stuff. I understand why teams protect the quarterback, right? First, like now seeing it like at practice, I have 2 things to say. One, it's really got to suck in training camp to be like a defensive lineman. Because you cannot do anything you're used to doing. Like you're supposed to just like rush and then let go. That's the whole.
And he that close to him when Mike.
I mean, no, they replayed that one clip. He almost pushed the guy into his knee. But but it wasn't as big of a deal. Right. I agree. But like, it's hard. Like, I'm talking specifically for defensive linemen. Like everyone else, whatever. I feel like if you're a corner, you can still go hard against a receiver, but like defensive linemen literally can't do anything that they're used to doing. It's like very just like hit the guy and then just stand there.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool that they wore the quarterbacks wear the blue jerseys. I'm kidding.
No, I'm kidding. I will say
maybe if they wore red jerseys, then Derek Hall would have been used to it. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to hit the guy in the red jersey.
I don't think that's what it was.
No,
I think he wants to play football. The stay away from the quarterback stuff is interesting to me. I understand the purpose, obviously, but like, when did that begin? Where like the only person on the field we care not to touch is the quarterback.
You can't touch a kicker either.
Yeah, but you can't touch a kicker on the field either.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure like there was probably back in the day, there was a quarterback who was really good, got injured in training camp, and then it became a thing.
Yeah, but then why don't we protect JSN? Like, why is it just the quarterback? I've just like I've known this is a thing forever, but I'm just wondering like where your best offensive, but your left tackle, you can bull rush him and pull him to the ground, but if you like breathe on the quarterback, it's like
I would say probably if I was to like theory wise, quarterback is the only position on the field that has very, 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 very limited amount of physicality involved in their play. Wide receiver, you're still going to have to use some physicality, offensive line, defensive, every single position except quarterback. I mean, of course, quarterbacks have some sort of physicality they have to, deal with. But in general, you don't even want them to use that physicality on the field, right? Like avoiding a sack. Like in general, like the quarterback position, the least amount of physicality you can have the quarterback go through, the better in general. Maybe that's why. It's just
I
my
guess. And I
opinion.
know they're the most important piece of the team, but it's just like, yeah, I guess that could be it. Like they're already the least like physical specimens in general too, usually, unless you're like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. But like you also, yeah, you want them to like if they're gonna ever use their physicality that they do have, you want it to be in the season, not like
Yeah.
avoiding a sack and getting your ankle twisted
Yes,
in the middle
something
of a
like that.
practice,
That's
where
what
a
that's my guess.
receiver kind of has to get used to his body doing those things,
Mhm.
or
Yeah,
he's
that
not
would
going to be
be
ready for the season.
that would be my guess. But since we do have Google, I'm gonna see if it ever like was it when did QBs stop getting hit in training camp? Let's see if there's like a story behind it.
I'm going to guess there is, or it's just like something they've people adopted over time. Like
It
what,
says quarterbacks stopped getting hit in camp gradually sometime in the mid 20th century.
mid 20th century,
Yeah, so like 1950s or 60s.
huh? So
Yeah, it's
they
just
just figured out a long time ago is like to win games you need your quarterback.
something like that.
So they figured out that quarterback's the most important position on the field. That's the whole story.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
exactly.
knew that's the reason, but I was wondering if there was any others, but I guess not.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no story behind it.
Well, great episode. Don't know if it's the best episode of all time, like you said, but great episode.
Are you talking about us or Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, it's not our best episode ever
or
either.
ours. I
Like,
don't think this is our greatest episode of all time, but
no, I don't think so either. I was solid. I think you did a good job there, man. Like, I commend you for your efforts, and I think you did good. But
kind of like the
definitely,
Hard Knocks episode.
yeah,
Like
like really
good
solid.
one, but maybe not the greatest ever.
Right.
Ever.
I have no complaints. Like if like practice, I'm sure Mike McDonald is like, oh, that was a good practice. Was it the best practice ever? No.
I don't know if anyone will ever have the best practice ever. It'd be a hard.
You should. Your next practice should always be your best ever.
Thank you, Mike McDonald.
Thank you.
That would be a Mike McDonald quote. Well, we'll be back later this week. Seahawks play Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, since we're here talking about the Seahawks playing Saturday, we will have it on our 6-pack, which is great. If you go to here, I can. Do you want me to share my screen since you have one hand, or do you want to do it?
I can do it.
All right. And I'll start my spiel. So we have a game, the 6-pack, 6pack.seattleontap.com. That's a number 6. It's free to play. You're going to have 6 different picks you can do. 4 of them are yes or no. 2 of them are basically multiple choice. Right now, it's been all Mariners stuff since the Mariners are playing, but we'll have a multi-mix sport on Saturday. Probably not too much on the Seahawks on Saturday. It'll probably be like Seahawks win, total points, because we don't really know what players are going to play big amount of minutes. There's a monthly leaderboard. The winner gets prizes. And if you go 6 for 6 on a day, you end up winning a $50 gift card to SeattleOnTap.com, our merch store, where the shirt I'm wearing is from that. So go check it out. You'll have your profile, and you can there's groups you can invite friends. So it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to win the month of August. I'm not close right now, but I can go on a good run. If you look on the daily, Sammy, our dad did finish 3rd today, so good for our dad.
Nice picks. So you said the Mariners would win, so he guessed that Brian we would have 10 plus strikeouts.
Just the highest number.
My goodness, that's a lot of strikeouts, Dad. Yeah, check out the 6-pack. It's still going daily with the Mariners. So if you want to start now, it's 6-pack like this, 6, the number pack.seattleontap.com, and you'll get an email every morning when the new 6-pack is out. So make sure you check that out. And we'll have Seahawks on there on Saturday. So you want to get started tomorrow, even with Mariners, even if you're guessing, so you can get up the leaderboard for the month.
Yeah,
that's my advice.
That's the best advice. Plus the all-time ranking. Like if you start so late, you're just going to be so hard to ever be up in the all-time ranking numbers. So you want to do that. So
maybe we'll add like a yearly one day here.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So like people, because if you start like next year, it kind of suck. Like you'll never get to the top.
Yeah, it's like those pinball machines you go see, and it's like, oh my God, they're never going to beat the highest score.
Yeah, not possible right now. But we'll be back. Check out Six Pack, Poly Market, link in the description, and all our links are in the description. And we'll be back this week, probably like Thursday. So
Yep.
We'll see you guys. It's almost season time. I'm so glad we have Hard Knocks at minimum before the season starts.
I know, man. I'm like I don't love preseason football, but it's at least something to tune into.
Yeah, and my last thing before we log off here. They haven't highlighted me somebody yet to watch on preseason, like some random potential cut guy. I think next episode with the preseason game, they might show it, but
oh, you're right. Yeah, usually there's one guy like we're 2 episodes in, there's not like one guy that's he's a undrafted rookie free agent from Grand Canyon University and is trying to make the team. Like, I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I'm
waiting for that guy. Or maybe they're just going to use like Terrion Arnold next week as that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
can he sign?
And nothing on Witherspoon yet. I mean, he was quiet this episode. He didn't even mention him once.
Yeah, he talked today about the contract, saying he's not worried about it. So
yeah, I'm not either.
I mean, I'm glad he's just showing up. But we'll be back next time. And George, you know what we like to say.
Thanks for stopping by.
Peace.